What was Gary Rossington's net worth? Gary Rossington was an American musician who had a net worth of $12 million at the time of his death. Gary Rossington died on March 5, 2023 at the age of 71. Gary Rossington was best known for his work as a founding member and guitarist of the iconic southern rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd. Lynyrd Skynyrd had many chart-topping singles throughout their career, becoming one of the most popular southern rock bands of all time. Some of their biggest hits include Sweet Home Alabama in 1974, which has become an anthem of Southern pride and one of the most recognizable songs in rock music history. Free Bird from 1973 is another one of their most famous songs, known for its epic guitar solo and emotional lyrics. Other hits include Gimme 3 Steps from 1973, Simple Man in 1973 as well, and What's Your Name from 1977. These songs helped to cement Lynyrd Skynyrd's status as one of the greatest bands of the 1970s and remain popular today, continuing to be played on classic rock radio stations and covered by other musicians. Rossington's contributions to the band helped shape their sound and solidify their status as one of the most influential bands in rock music history. To date, Lynyrd Skynyrd has sold over 28 million albums worldwide thanks to numerous chart-topping hits. Beyond his work with Lynyrd Skynyrd, Rossington had also enjoyed a successful solo career, showcasing his talents as both a guitarist and songwriter. In 1977, when the band was at their height of success, an airplane crash killed 3 of its members, Ronnie Van Zant, Steve Gaines, and Cassie Gaines. Rossington survived, but broke both arms, both legs, both ankles, both wrists, and his pelvis. His injuries ended up leading him to a drug addiction from the pain medication he initially needed. Gary co-founded the Rossington Collins Band in 1980, and the band released 2 albums. Rossington still performed with Lynyrd Skynyrd later in life and eventually became the only original band member left playing with the band. Upon the death of guitarist Edward King in 2018, Gary became the only surviving original member of the band still living. Rossington was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Lynyrd Skynyrd in 2006. Gary Rossington was born on December 4, 1951 in Jacksonville, Florida. He grew up in a musical family and began playing the guitar at a young age. As a teenager, he formed his first band with some of his friends and began playing gigs around town. Despite his early musical talent, Rossington struggled in school and ultimately dropped out in the 9th grade. In the early 1970s, Rossington formed Lynyrd Skynyrd with fellow musicians Ronnie Van Zant and Allen Collins. The band's name is a reference to a high school teacher the members had in common. That teacher's name was Lynyrd Skynyrd. Skynyrd was known for his strict dress code policy, which included a ban on boys having long hair. This was a problem for some of the band members who were growing their hair out in the fashion of many rock musicians of the time. As a nod to their former teacher, they decided to name their band Lynyrd Skynyrd, deliberately misspelling Skynyrd's name. The band quickly gained a following in their hometown of Jacksonville, and they soon signed a record deal with MCA Records. In 1973, Lynyrd Skynyrd released their debut album. That album included the hit singles Free Bird and Simple Man. The album was a critical and commercial success, and it established Lynyrd Skynyrd as one of the most exciting new bands in rock music. Over the next few years, Lynyrd Skynyrd released several more successful albums, including Second Helping in 1974, which featured the hit singles Sweet Home Alabama and Don't Ask Me No Questions, and Nothing Fancy in 1975, which included the hit single Saturday Night Special. The band's unique blend of southern rock, blues, and country music made them a favorite of fans and critics alike, and they continued to tour and record throughout the 1970s. Tragically, Lynyrd Skynyrd's success was cut short in 1977 when the band's plane crashed in Mississippi, killing several members of the group, including lead singer Ronnie Van Zant. Rossington was among the survivors of the crash, but he suffered serious injuries that required several months of hospitalization and rehabilitation. Despite the tragedy, Rossington remained committed to music, and he eventually returned to the studio and to the stage with Lynyrd Skynyrd. After the plane crash, Lynyrd Skynyrd disbanded for several years, but they eventually reunited and continued to tour and record throughout the 1980s and 1990s. In addition to his work with Lynyrd Skynyrd, Rossington also released several solo albums, including Rossington in 1986, Take It On Faith in 2018, and Shake It Up in 2019. These albums showcased Rossington's talents as both a guitarist and songwriter, and they received critical acclaim from fans and critics alike. Gary Rossington was married to his wife, Dale Krantz Rossington, from 1982 until his death in 2023. Dale is also a musician and has worked as a backing vocalist for Lynyrd Skynyrd and other bands. The couple has one daughter together named Mary Elizabeth. Rossington struggled with various health issues over the years, including heart problems and a serious car accident in 1976. Gary died on March 5, 2023, at the age of 71.